Well, that's it. Lincoln is going to free the slaves. Sort of. Or at least announce his intention to free the slaves. And by that I mean free them in the rebelling states. Because, we have control over the South right now. Hello and welcome to Civil War in Hindsight. I'm Lieutenant Tommy. With me, as always, is Prospector Johnny. And Johnny, sort of good news last week with Antietam.
Was it?
Bloodiest
day of the war.
We won.
Okay. Fair. Couple thousand people.
Couple tens of thousand people, you mean?
What are you gonna do? But yeah. So I guess we're starting off this week on a good
Starting off this week, it can't get any worse than last week. It's going to begin on the 19th with McClellan letting Lee pull his forces across the river and out of Maryland, thus ending Lee's first offensive campaign into the North, which was not a resounding success for him. He got shot at by farmers.
Yeah, of course, because get off
got
the land.
beat, tactically beat at Maryland.
Yeah.
And is now retreating back to the South, which we let him retreat back to the South because we're McClellan. And why on earth would we take advantage of anything when we have the opportunity to do so?
No, heaven forbid we capture the
McClellan.
South's, one of the South's better generals. That would be terrible if we just defeated his army, captured him, tried him for treason, and had him hanged. Worst thing in the world.
And Johnny, we can't go a few days without another battle and more people getting gunned down and murdered because
Yay.
Confederate forces are going to try to prevent Grant from reinforcing Buell, who was attempting to stop Bragg from invading Kentucky. I know it's kind of a triangle of movement here.
Well, hold up. All right.
Bragg is invading Kentucky. Buell is moving to stop Bragg.
Then,
Confederates are trying to stop Grant from moving up to assist, Buell from Bragg. Yeah. Confederate forces underneath Sterling Price are going to move to Iuka, Mississippi on the 14th, and were waiting for the arrival of Earl Van Dorn to assist them. But on the 19th, Grant says, screw this, and he's going to advance his column underneath General Rosecrans to move into Iuka and take care of the dirty rebels. And because this is U.S. Grant and the only good general that the North has, victory.
He did the damn thing?
Spoiler alert. It's already a victory. Yeah, it's great.
Hey.
If Grant's involved, victory. You don't even have to say anything else.
Yeah,
Grant.
I mean, literally, his initials are U.S.
U.S. Grant.
I mean, U.S.G., but forget the G. It's not the United States of Georgia. It's
It's
U.S. U.S. Grant.
U.S. Grant. Rosecrans and Price are going to engage in some heavy fighting, although not nearly as heavy as Antietam. So when I say heavy, I mean like more than 100 people are gonna bite it, but like not 10,000 people.
We kind of set a new standard with Antietam, didn't we? That's a new level of lives lost and big battle type stuff. Like it's now anything under like a couple of hundred people dying is going to seem just useless.
Yes, the battle's going to go on for most of the day, but by the end of the night, Price is going to have to give up the field to Rosecrans. Price knew that the rest of Grant's army was nearby, and he had to get the hell out of Dodge before Grant overran him because, Van Dorn never showed up, and Grant's got a bigger army than me, and he's actually a competent general, so got to get the hell out of here. Union is going to lose 141 killed, 613 wounded, 36 missing, to Confederate losses of 263 killed, 692 wounded, and 561 captured or missing. And it's about time that we give Grant a promotion, put him in Halleck's position because clearly Halleck doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
I mean, Halleck's or
McClellan. Halleck's over McClellan.
I want Lincoln's, any of them.
Any of them. Yeah. On the 20th, McClellan is finally going to start to get off his ass and conduct a mild pursuit of Lee. And by mild, I mean he's going to take two of his divisions and sort of kind of meander in the direction that Lee went and do absolutely nothing to stop Lee from leaving.
I think that was an accident.
Probably.
I think he sent people for a walk and just they happened to come across.
Go in that direction. Yeah. Grant is going to.
Oh no! Oh shit!
Grant is going to continue his pursuit past Iuka, and a new federal expedition is going to leave Bolivar to Grand Junction and LaGrange, Tennessee. So we've got a Union expedition going into other areas of Tennessee from Tennessee. Okay. And Lincoln, speaking with his cabinet, has drawn up a preliminary Emancipation Proclamation, which Lincoln is going to announce that will free the slaves in southern rebelling states.
Wait. But
we'll get there, Johnny. Let me give me a couple of days, and we'll talk about that. I know where you're going, but give me a couple of days.
All right.
On the 21st, Braxton Bragg is going to move his army to Bardstown in order to link up with Kirby Smith's command, which by doing so got Buell to beat the Confederates to Louisville, so at least the Ohio River is safe while the cross between
Indiana's safe.
Kentucky and Indiana's safe.
Indiana, that's the most important bit. The most important thing is that Indiana is safe.
It's where we live.
This is the last time I will be recording here. I am moving.
Yeah, since you're moving
into southeastern Indiana.
Yeah.
So I need it to be safe. So secure that border along the Ohio, please.
Johnny, looks like it's going to be. It looks like it's going to be okay for you. And citizens out in San Francisco are going to contribute $100,000 to federal sick and wounded, so good for them. They might as well, because let's be honest, you're so far away from the fighting that money is about the only thing you really can't do, because even if you formed an army of volunteers, like, what will get them in 6 months?
Yeah, I mean, the training, everything else, forget about
it. Oh, fuck, I forgot about the training. We'll get them in a year.
Yeah, I mean, good God. Well, let's still say 6 months, because it's not like we're actually training anybody.
They can learn on the march. They can learn on the march over.
Yeah, you point it, you shoot it, and then you do the thing.
And only like a third of them are going to die of dysentery or like smallpox or shit on the way over. Cause,
you're going to get sick and die, kid. Don't worry about it. You don't have to learn how to shoot that gun.
On the 22nd, we get Abraham Lincoln officially announcing his Emancipation Proclamation. And I'm going to quote here, quotes, that on the first day of January in the year of our Lord, 1,863, all persons held as slaves within any state or designated part of a state, this is an important part, designated part of a state, the people whereof shall then be in rebellion against the United States, shall be thenceforth and forever free. What he is saying here is that
hold up.
Any slave held in the South in active rebellion, so that does not include Western Virginia, which is now seceded from the South, will be free on January 1st of 1863.
No, why not? Couple follow. Can I get a follow up?
Follow up, Johnny. Follow up all you want. Yep.
Why not immediately? Why does he think this is going to do anything at all? They are clearly in an active rebellion and not going to listen to his laws because they have their traitor President Davis. That was not a question, just a statement.
Yes. So I will answer a couple of these for you. The first one, why not immediately? I think, and I don't know Lincoln personally, I haven't talked to him directly on this point, I think his intention here is that he's giving the South a 4-month grace period here to not rebel anymore, and then thereby keeping their slaves. He's giving them an out. Say, hey, if you stop rebelling,
because he did say, I mean, he's been quoted as saying that he will end this war regardless of the slave. Like he doesn't care whether they keep slaves, whether they don't keep slaves, whether he free them all, whatever. He said he doesn't give a shit. He wants to end this war. So you think this is extending an olive branch, saying, hey...
I think like this is your way out. My only hesitation on that is that he also asked the cabinet and the Congress to authorize funds to compensate the northern states that have slaves for gradual emancipation. So he's saying slaves in southern states that are rebelling, they'll be free on January 1st, which you don't actually have control over because we're actively fighting a war.
Sure. Well, he does because they're not a real country, but also they don't give a shit because they're not going
to follow it, so it doesn't matter.
Come arrest them.
And he's also he's saying for the northern states, like, I want them to end slavery too, but here's some money. Like, I want you to build money to throw at the slave owners so that, like, hey, look, get rid of your slaves. We're paying you for them. We're buying out your slaves. Slavery's illegal. kind of thing.
Okay, so that they can then transition their business into such a way where they can possibly pay their slaves, or if they really are just horribly racist folks, pay some white people to do the thing instead.
Maybe. I mean, I imagine at the end of the day, he's also all about his whole, moving slaves to other countries thing.
Right, yeah. He's still kind of a jackass wanting to get
He's still a little bit of a jackass. I think this may be a political movement to try to drum up some support for a war that isn't maybe going well over the last month.
Yeah, do you think maybe he's trying to score some points after... just
have an election in a couple of years.
Initiated at the start of his presidency, and then doing all sorts of things that are pretty dictatorial and kind of just the crown that we left recently. And,
but Johnny, at the end of the day,
saying he doesn't care about slaves and he'll end this war no matter what. And then you think maybe he's trying to save some face here, and then also keeping McClellan employed and Pope employed. Even though they're just losing battle after battle and not doing anything, you think maybe after all of that, he might want to save some face?
Yeah, he probably does. But I'm glad that you mentioned that now, because by the end of this week, what you just said might get you arrested without charges and thrown in a military jail without trial. So I'm glad you said it now, because by the end of the week...
Thank God.
You might not be able to get away with that.
I just missed being arrested by Hair Lincoln.
Just missed being arrested by Hair Lincoln. So, but look, a subjugated group of people are now extended a whole new set of rights, sort of.
This is...
it's a step. It's a step. You know what? Yeah, you can't walk a mile without taking that first step. This is that first step. We're getting there.
All right, but we stepped on a nail and didn't do shit. Just got it's... Bad first step.
Sort of. Yeah. And good news here, Johnny. Federal troops are going to reoccupy Harper's Ferry again. I mean, holy shit.
Come on.
This poor city has changed hands like 4 times already in this war.
I'm sick of hearing the word Harper's Ferry. I don't know what's going on with it anymore. It's just every freaking week it's popping up. And what the hell's going on in Harper's Ferry now? Who got it back?
The federal troops got it back. We marched.
All right, so we have it again.
We took it back.
All right, cool. Great. Wait till next week when the Confederates take back Harper's Ferry.
And Johnny, it's been a little bit of time since we talked about our Indian brethren in the Northwest, but they are at it again. On the 23rd, there's another unsuccessful attack by the Indians at Fort Abercrombie. They should probably stop. This is like their 4th time they tried to do it, and it hasn't worked. Get the message.
Lots of money,
stop
though, for it. They're getting paid to do the thing. It's fine.
Maybe. And H.H. Sibley
they're being promised that they will get paid if things go well.
H.H. Sibley is going to win an important war, victory of the Sioux War out at Wood Lake in Minnesota. So it seems like that Sioux Rebellion we've hit a turning point, and maybe that might be over soon. And not the victory outcome that I was probably hoping for with regards to the Sioux, but it is what it is.
I mean,
what do you expect? Sioux can't take on the whole. I mean, good on you for attacking us while we're at war with ourselves, but there's still a lot more white people now than there are red people. So that's probably gonna get me in trouble for saying red people, but it's 1862.
Should.
It's 1862. It's okay. It's fine.
Even so.
This week, Johnny.
Most of my friends are like, we don't do that anymore. Even in 1862. Slavery is illegal in the rest of the world, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
It's not. We're pushing some.
We're pushing some boundaries. Yeah,
we might want to get a little more woke.
We are not very progressive here in the United States. And this week, Johnny's going to come to an end with the most Lincoln-y thing ever that I could ever think of. I've already alluded to it. So on the 24th, just 2 days after announcing his Emancipation Proclamation, expanding the rights of subjugated groups of people in the South, he is going to announce a new proclamation suspending the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus. And whether or not a civilian or a military person, doesn't matter whether you're civilian or military, this extends to everybody. No. And I quote here.
No.
I quote here, Johnny, all rebels and insurgents, their aiders and abettors within the United States, and all persons discouraging volunteer enlistments, resisting militia drafts, or guilty of any disloyal practice affording comfort to rebels against the authority of the United States are now subject to being arrested, held indefinitely, and subject to military trial as opposed to civilian trial. And of course, a military trial, you do not get a fair trial by your peers or fair legal representation.
Tommy, can you please, I'm sorry, can you please go ahead and read back everybody that is, no, you're going to need that again. Everybody, yeah, can you read back all of the people that can be arrested?
Anybody who aids the Southerners that are in rebellion.
Fine.
Anybody who discourages volunteer enlistments. So anybody who goes to, like, hey, maybe you don't want to join the North because, I mean, like, look, war is hell. People are dying.
So if I tell my son not to join in war,
you could be arrested. Mm-hmm. If you speak out against the draft for the militia, you can be arrested.
Just speak out. Just say, if I'm walking down the street and say,
this draft is bullshit.
Sucks.
Yep, you could be arrested. So
two of these are hearsay.
Guilty of any disloyal practice. That's open-ended.
Just anything.
The whole statement you said like 15 minutes ago.
I didn't say that. Nope. I knew.
That could totally
don't put words in my mouth, Tommy. Don't go saying that I said things. I love our president elect that we elected as a fair and free people.
Well, we will see if Johnny is still with us next week. That's it for this week in Civil War in Hindsight. If you enjoy Civil War in Hindsight, check out Historic Hindsight. We talk about all kinds of fun things that aren't necessarily Civil War related. We talk about, it's been a long time since we talked about non-Civil War related things, but we did talk about incubator babies at one point, so that's not Civil War related. We talked about the Fenian raids where the Irish tried to gain their freedom by attacking Canada, so that's not Civil War related, but for the near future, it's probably going to be Civil War related.